Grant Kroll here, amateur book critic, here to give my review of Jeff Gibbard's The Lovable Leader, Building Great Teams with Trust, Respect, and Kindness, and it's touted as a book for new managers. Well, if you are not a manager, meaning that if you are not in charge of other people, don't let that deter you from reading this. Why? I am someone who, even though I have manager in my title, I am not really about managing people, but programs. And this book is very good to say this is for you too, if you have to work with different personality types. And I certainly do. So, what I found really good about this is that it is actually a fun read. It's an easy read, makes sense, makes the case. And it is one of those books that he does espouse his values. And those values can also run on the progressive side, but don't be put off by that if your views might be more of moderate or conservative in there. It does show that he does make the case, first off, for why being a lovable leader and building trust and being someone who want to follow based on love and respect and not relying on fear, or intimidation or the things that might be considered traditional with a boss is something that really helps the business. And he, right out of the bat, he goes off to say, what are citing some stats to show that people leave companies. Those companies don't do too well. There are people who might treat it as an end-sum game, as a I win when you lose. This is not one of those books. This is really about you succeed when other people succeed around you. What I really liked about this is talks about ownership, and that's the key to me, is about when you accept responsibility for the outcome of a situation, as well as what you can control, what you can influence, and accepting what you can't. And a good part of that is communication, clear communication. And he dedicates a whole chapter saying that is the most important tool of being a good leader. What I also liked is he does share his stories, and some of them are very personal stories and touching stories. So he's bearing a lot here in this book and based on his experience, which is very impressive. What I think I would have liked to have also seen is giving examples of other companies, maybe talking with some of his colleagues on relatable experiences, because we can all write about ourselves. Sometimes to make the case, you want to give examples of other companies, of people who you know, and you get to have some exclusive information there. But that's more of a preference, just like I would say where he does bring up the theme of the Superhero Institute, which is his coaching group, and it's a great group, is that that might come across as hyperbole for some, just like someone who says awesome or perfect a lot. But again, these are small quips. The big thing is about, I love the emphasis on communication, talking about empathy, whereas you were taking a seat at the table, putting yourself in someone else's shoes, when you can have the high ground, when you do need to talk to someone about if they aren't performing or if they are having some problems, probably problems that other people have issues with in your group. So you can be a leader and step up, even if you are on the same level as them, and you can also lead up. That includes the programs you do. And what I love is he talks about with planning, especially with project management, a thing that I think that's really overlooked to be a good leader, and working backwards to clearly explain what's the goal, understanding people's roles and responsibilities, and having a timeline. To be responsible is what makes you a very good leader. So this is something for folks who would like to hear something that either speaks to their values, and those values not necessarily political values. It does go off into some progressive routes, and but it does not hit you over the head. It's not like I wouldn't call it a David Ramsey style book for those who like him on the conservative bent. This is something that is very effective, and I'm already been using in my role. So I highly recommend it. I give this 5 stars, and treat yourself as a leader with whatever you do. Even if you are on the entry level of a company, you will be able to apply this so you are thinking in a leadership mentality. So I highly recommend you get the Lovable Leader Handbook for New Managers, Building Great Teams, Trust, Respect, and Kindness. And yes, I did go through this book a lot. I went through and did a lot of notes, and there are a lot of highlights. So you will be doing the same thing too. So buy the book. You'll be glad you did. Take care, everybody. Now go be lovable.